So I did not expect to almost start crying there, but I'm 50 hours in to my dry fast, and I guess it's just so much, it's so easy to appreciate things now. And yeah, I was thinking I'm gonna tell you about my first panic attack and how awful it was. And the reason I'm almost crying is I just realized that it's whatever caused that in me is gone. I think it's gone forever, And I think, even though I didn't get panic attacks until later in my life, I think whatever spirit, if you will, was with me for as long as I can remember. And I feel like it's just been pulled out. And I'm gonna try keep it together, but first, let's make a fire. Can I put this here? Okay, this seems to work. Okay, so here we go. So I had a job at an office, nothing, special, like customer service. And then one day it felt like a drug overdose or something, on a psychedelic drug. Like nothing got, no impressions got past me, so to say. All sounds, all lights, all everything. And I felt so, I felt like I was going crazy, because feeling like that, just the normal day at the office, and I had nothing against this job. I had no problem. Some people don't like it talking to angry customers. I never had any problems with that. So I was shocked, and I finally managed to go to my team leader, Anna. Hello, if you see this, Anna, and managed to just say something like, "No, I think I'm having a panic attack." And she could see right away that something was wrong, and the wood is too wet, so get going even with some lighter fluid. But here goes. Come on. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, and so I went, and this was kind of far from home for me, like geographically. So usually I took a bus, and then subway, and then a little walk. But the thought of stepping into a bus was, I couldn't do that. And I never was claustrophobic, So I knew something was up. I remember walking. It was winter time, and the cold felt nice on my face, because what happened was I felt disconnected from my body. Like I would watch my hands, and it felt like I was seeing someone else's hands. I would react like how, if you're staring this way and something comes here, you go that. I would react like that to my own hands, and so I decided to walk to the subway in the cold, but even then the subway seemed too intense, so I decided to walk through the city. And I remember feeling like I was wearing VR goggles, like what I was seeing. It just felt like my camera was here, but I'm not part of this really. And I came home, and it was still going. I remember watching my hands and just didn't know what to do. Am I going crazy? If I'm not going crazy, how am I gonna withstand this? And I could feel like this is not the first time that this is going to happen, but and it wasn't, And I just talking about this, I realize how bad I always felt, even before this. I like life was always about managing for me. Not could never pursue anything that I wanted to do for real. That even if I did, like, I sing in a choir that I love, both as a hobby musically, but as a group, the guys, my friends. But I always took such a background role, and that's fine, if you want to be that way. But I've always known that what I'm doing right now is my thing, I don't have to be in front of the line all of the time in everything, but I am a person who is supposed to do things like that and want to do things like that. But it was my biggest fear. We don't have to go into why this happened, but I realized that trauma from my childhood, growing up, made this like what I wanted to do the most: be in front of people and doing something for them, for me and for them, something that we all can enjoy, It was my biggest fear. I was even afraid of just raising my hand and saying something in any situation, just because became such a big thing in my head. And I'm crying now. Not because I feel bad about all of that, but I'm so happy now. It's all over. It's over. It's gone. I was so afraid. I had basically, before I started having those illogical panic attacks, so to say, like anytime, that I guess it kind of was panic attacks that I had for any situation that put me in the center of attention. And it's just gone now. I get the butterflies when I mean, I don't feel 100% confident about putting this video up, crying to the world, but still, and I've gone in front of groups and talked in school, at work, in my choir, like I mentioned, and maybe I get some butterflies sometimes, but I feel normal about it, finally. I feel, I don't know how to tell you. Like, I was so unhappy for such a long time. And I thought I was going to die in one way or another. Like, from putting stuff into my body, or just maybe. I had like one belief that you should never kill yourself. It's not the right way. But when the panic attacks were the most intense, I started thinking about it not like something I wanted to do at all, and not because I didn't even feel like depressed or I just felt like I can't live like this. Can't. Yeah. I think I'm done now. Maybe you understand now why I chose this path to pursue my health, training and eating better, sleeping better, fasting. I mean, I'm not saying that it wasn't one of these things that saved me. It was. I don't know. I like to think that God, that I cried out to God finally. I was always a hardcore atheist, and now I consider myself, a Christian. I know Swedes won't understand what I mean by that. I don't mean that. I've never even read the Bible, I just know Jesus's message, basically. And I just feel like my ego is dead. Because that was panic attacks. When you have panic attacks or feel bad. Like, this is not an accusation if you're one of those people, but you've grown a huge ego. You've grown a huge ego that think that everything is about you all the time, but it's not. It's not. And but a lot can be when it's not, if that makes sense. So now, yeah, I don't even know where I went, but I think I've learned more and more doing this fasting and training and everything, but I feel like it came from God, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Like, I never understood that this is what life could be. Like, I love my life. I love my life now. It's, and before I just managed. And you know, you always have some fun every once in a while, and you forget about things. But like, on the whole, I never felt good. That's the truth. And I'm so happy. I know I'm crying, but I've never been happier. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. Just go for a walk outside. Okay, maybe I'll put out the fire first before that. Oh, such a nice thing, having a fire. But yeah, thank you everyone who's been following me on this trip. You know, but I hope, you know, I'm talking about me because I am me. You know, I have to live my life, but I hope it's clear that it's not about me anymore. My ego is dead. Like, I'm setting an example for all of you, but I know how many other people maybe didn't get a strong reaction as I did, but how many people that something is wrong, and has been for a long time. And I just want to show you what has happened to me, and that it can happen to you too. Life can really be amazing. And it's not amazing because you drink a lot or eat a lot of sugar or take drugs or whatever. You know, I'm not judging you. I was there. I've been the same way. But listen to me, you can enjoy some of those things, but I've never felt better not using those things much at all, you know. Life can be so much on its own. Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening and for following me. Let's keep doing things. Let's keep doing these great things together, because I think these are great things. I think my words fail me at this point. Thank you everyone, and thank you God.